Hello and welcome again to our social media in small business video. This is part 2 of the first video, which was all about why use social media as a small business. If you saw the first one, we talked about the two elements that are influencing why people should be in social media. We looked at the psychology, that's all about people and how they're behaving at the moment. And this one, we're going to talk about the facts and figures of social media. So let's look at the facts and figures, and what are we going to cover? Well, we're going to cover the numbers. We're going to look at the marketing channel. We're going to look at the lower costs involved, and also we're going to look at targeting marketing. Now, the numbers, this is where you're going to see some really fantastic numbers. But let's be realistic about this. This is about you and your market as well. But where you've got large numbers, there will be a subset that will be relevant to you. So for instance, Facebook has over 845 million accounts. If it were a country, it would be the third largest nation in the world. Coupled with the fact that statistics show that 50% of accounts are logged on daily. So that means you're going to have access to a whole load of individuals that you can start to market to. And let's look at the age groups. Now, most people say it's a young generation, it's the XY generation. But in fact, if you actually look at the figures, for the UK there's 30.5 million active accounts at the moment. But if you look at the age group 18 to 30, then that's 15.6. But when you look at the over 30, it's 14.7 accounts are in there. So there's a lot of range and accessibility to people that you are going to be able to market to. If we look at the other social media networks, if we look at Twitter, it has over 200 million, and again that's rising, so that figure's probably out of date even as we speak. LinkedIn has over 105 million, and I know that's increasing daily as more professional people get involved in it. Google has 90 million plus. Now this is a new guy on the block. They're trying to compete with Facebook, as you can imagine, and they're raising relatively fast at the moment. Whether it's going to have the same impact, it's probably either going to be the case of you either like Facebook, hate Google, and vice versa. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. YouTube's slightly different. It's open to everybody. You don't have to have an account on there. But the interesting facts about it are, for instance, that there are 4 billion videos are viewed daily. And if you think about that, that's a lot of videos going on. It is a vast resource of videos and a useful tool for businesses in social media. And I'll cover that later in this series. So let's move on. It is a marketing channel. Don't listen to anybody else. Social media should be used as a marketing channel for small businesses. It shouldn't be used for the personal side in a business context, but for businesses, you can use it as a marketing channel, and successfully. It is different to other channels that you use. So, for instance, your website, newspapers, networking, telemarketing and joint ventures are very much direct marketing and very much the old traditional way of marketing of sell, ask and you shall receive. Whereas social media is a very different one, and we'll cover why it's different later. Now, social media is, and currently is, a lower cost than traditional marketing. And that's because most of the networks you join are for free. The ad facilities are cheaper than Google Ads, and we'll talk about that later. And its time-saving devices are available to help you market, so you can do it without having to go elsewhere. And you've got different tools to help you support what you're trying to achieve, and again I'll mention some of those later. You can target prospective clients with social media. One of the great advantages of social media is that because it records interests, likes, what people do, you can target prospective people for that. Even in LinkedIn, you have the ability to target prospective clients. And when I say target, what I'm talking here about is social media targeting, not sales targeting. You can do it locally, nationally and internationally. You can base it, as I've said, on the likes and what they do and what they dislike, where they work, etc. You can build lists with social media, and it's a great way therefore then to continue your marketing through newsletters, etc. And where appropriate, you can sell direct. So if you are a retail shop, you can put on a retail site to Facebook, for instance, or if you're an internet IT company that sells peripherals, again, you can sell them online as well and sell direct. But in essence, most of it is about networking on a social nature, and again, I'll cover that later. Now, we've looked at why of social media. We looked at the people, what they like, and how they're behaving. We've looked at the numbers, and we've looked at the opportunity for small businesses to get involved, and we'll cover that in more detail as we go through this series. So now let's move on to the next video, and that's how to start social media.